Straight ahead on CCX News, no escaping the heat. This spring becomes a record breaker in more ways than one. Plus, a group of school kids that knows a thing or two about beating the heat. And we'll take you behind the scenes of a local public works crew, what they say about working in this weather. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The Northwest suburbs continue to ride the weather roller coaster.
This spring quickly went from blizzards to heat waves. According to New Hope weather watcher Steve Reckers, last month was the coldest and snowiest April on record. This month, of course, it's just the opposite. We're on track for the hottest May ever. In fact, we've had 6 straight days of 90s in May, also a record. And beating the heat is no easy feat, especially if you're without air conditioning.
It can also present some health concerns, and here's reporter Sonia Goins.
Every year we do a field trip to a park just to get the kids out as part of a fun end of the year party to let them play together.
The Elm Creek play area is packed with students from Clear Springs Elementary in Minnetonka. As you can see, the children are super excited to be outdoors.
We would prefer to come out here any day to play.
Although the temperature is over 90 degrees, they don't seem to mind playing on hot playground equipment.
The sun reflects on metal and it makes it hot.
This bunch knows a thing or two about dealing with the heat.
90% of the classrooms do not have air conditioning. I mean, paper sticks to your skin and foreheads are dripping wet. It's hard to focus on learning when you are just your personal comfort is compromised.
On a day when even the water bottles are sweating, staying hydrated is a major concern.
Throughout the day, I'll walk around the park and just, how you doing? You need some water? Get some water.
Now, playing in the hot sun can be a lot of fun, but it can also be downright dangerous.
Hennepin County Medical Clinic in Golden Valley has seen cases where extreme heat has caused serious medical problems in children.
With heat exhaustion, you're going to see increased heart rate, you're going to see lots of sweating, patients are going to become really tired and kind of lethargic.
And it also slows you down because you're hot. Sometimes it feels like the heat is pushing you down.
But a heat stroke is more serious.
They're going to start mumbling or not talking very clearly. They might even become unconscious.
Natalie also says by the time a person is thirsty, it's too late. They're already dehydrated.
Your body's trying to tell you that you're really overheated, so you want to listen to it right away and respond appropriately.
Meanwhile, the students playing at Elm Creek have their own unique way of beating the heat. In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
And in Brooklyn Park, a hot day for some much-needed road work. Crews began resurfacing Oak Grove Parkway, the main artery leading to Target's northern campus. It has had a significant pothole problem for months, and the work should be finished by Wednesday. Local public works crews certainly know what it's like to work in the elements.
They were honored last week for Public Works Week, but that didn't mean they got a day away from the heat. Here's reporter Shannon Slatton.
A quick glance around the Public Works facility in Plymouth can give you an idea of the size and scope of jobs here.
I wish people knew all the nitty-gritty things that we do.
Public Works Director Michael Thompson says the 60-plus employees who work here are behind-the-scenes heroes.
I think a lot of things are taken for granted, just flushing the toilet and having it being taken care of, not worrying about those types of things, or just clean drinking water.
For example, Plymouth is in the process of painting its 5 water towers. Public Works crews prepped and drained the Zachary Water Tower first before contractors climbed high.
Making sure we're reinvesting in our infrastructure to make sure there's no problems down the road.
Literally out on the road.
Today we're going to be out in the city of Plymouth here doing some pothole repair on the streets.
Workers are always out in the elements. If they aren't pushing around snow,
I'll take winter any day of the week. I'm not a 90 and outside kind of guy.
pothole patrol is always a hot and steamy job. Scooping, spreading, and compacting.
Blacktop's kind of like working with Play-Doh. As you work it, it kind of kneads itself together.
This is week 5 of pothole patching. They know people can appreciate when a pothole is filled what crews would appreciate.
I think a lot of people fail to see the flashy lights. Put my
the danger in it.
Yeah,
you know, we're on the road. You know, that's where the potholes are.
Their Public Works Week wish is for drivers to just slow down.
You just got to be cautious, and you know, when you see the flashy lights and the vests working out in the street, people just need to know we're there.
In Plymouth, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Meantime, work at the Zachary Lane water tower will finish up this summer. Next year, Plymouth will repaint Central Water Tower.
The Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the man who the fisherman found in a Plymouth lake. The body of 55-year-old Curtis Hickle was found in Medicine Lake on Saturday morning, about 100 feet from shore. Cause and manner of death are still under investigation. Hickle lived at Mission Lodge, a place that works to help people overcome chemical dependency.
This week, we continue to hear from local lawmakers on the recent legislative session. DFL Representative Lyndon Carlson of Crystal says money currently in the bonding bill to improve the drainage and holding capacity of the DeCola ponds should correct a long-term flooding problem.
The ponds are located in Golden Valley, but the flooding on Winnetka and Medicine Lake Road impacts on Crystal, New Hope, and Golden Valley. And when we have a bad storm, that flooding impacts on people's homes in the area, it impacts on businesses, and it closes the street, which Winnetka and Medicine Lake Road are both major thoroughfares.
Other items in the bonding bill which Carlson is pleased about include $2 million in funding for the New Hope pool. That money would be used to help the city offset the cost of building a new 50-meter pool, which is considered an asset for competitive swim teams in the region. And $1.5 million is currently in the bonding bill for North Hennepin Community College. It's money to be used for building repairs and infrastructure upgrades. The governor has not yet acted on the bonding bill. Carlson said he would like to see tax conformity addressed soon, but he supports the governor's recent veto of the tax bill.
The governor vetoed, for reasons other than tax conformity, the tax bill. And he didn't feel it was fair to all income groups in terms of how the tax cuts were being distributed. And the example I like to use is a family of 4 earning $40,000 a year would get $10 per year in tax cuts.
Wednesday on CCX News, we will hear from Republican House Majority Leader Joyce Pepin of Rogers.
Minnesota broke a record for the number of food shelf visits in 2017. It's why Serenity Village Community Church in Crystal held its first ever 5K this past Saturday to benefit the hungry and the homeless. The church opened in 2012 with its roots in helping others with addiction.
We want to be part of the community, so this is a way of just immersing ourselves in the community. What better way than a bunch of us running through the community with some Serenity Village shirts on? And it's just a way of exposing people to the mission, to just another fun way for fellowship, another fun way for activity, and just kind of spread our wings a little bit.
The run helped raise money for Serenity Village's outreach efforts. The church provides free meals for the community every Friday evening and distributes 3,000 sandwiches a week to people in need. Still ahead, today's School Spotlight takes us to a Brooklyn Park school where both children and their parents can learn and grow.
Plus, Champlin Park gets a gem of a game from its top pitcher at the Section 5 baseball tournament.
But first, not quite as toasty on Wednesday with highs in the 80s. In the Anoka-Hennepin School District, a preschool program works hard to get kids ready for kindergarten.
It also offers the opportunity for parents to learn skills that can support their child's growth and development. As Delane Cleveland reports in today's School Spotlight, the program is housed under one roof in Brooklyn Park.
On a day when you have nice weather and playground equipment, it's the perfect opportunity for small children to get outside. To the untrained eye, playtime is nothing more than a chance for kids to have fun and burn off some energy. But if you talk to a trained professional,
the reality is that there's so much more that kids are doing.
They'll tell you that there's more to this scene than meets the eye.
They are working on their social emotional skills, they're working on their large motor skills, they're working on their relationships with their friends, solving conflict.
Elizabeth Saxert is one of the preschool teachers at Riverview ECFE in Brooklyn Park.
Breathe in.
She spends 4 days a week with this group of 4- and 5-year-olds. It's her job to help prepare them for kindergarten.
Their imagination is endless outside, and so a group of other people would just look at a bunch of kids playing outside as, oh, they're just playing, but they're doing a lot of mental work and a lot of physical work on top of that.
Aside from the work they do outside, the children spend plenty of time inside during their 5-hour school days, where they do activities with Play-Doh and Legos, while also learning the basics of education like their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
They come in as little caterpillars and they leave as these great big butterflies, and it's so amazing to see all of their development. Awesome, keep going.
While that group works hard on getting ready for kindergarten,
Come on over to the frog pond.
there's a completely different set of students here at Riverview who are part of the Early Childhood Family Education Program.
Oh, we got another one.
With this program, the school organizes different learning activities that bring parents and children together.
That's really our goal, is that the parents and children are playing together, talking with one another, interacting, asking questions, that kind of stuff.
Did you find another one?
It's a program that parents can sign up for through the district's community education offerings.
ECFE is just a great opportunity for parents and children to learn together, to learn through play, to learn through activities, to learn with other parents who are going along the same thing, and I think it's just a really great opportunity.
2 more!
On this particular day, a naturalist named Paula from the Three Rivers Park District teaches a class on frogs.
They're in here somewhere.
It's a chance for the kids to do some hands-on learning.
Grab a picture.
When this activity finishes, the groups split up and the parents get a chance to learn from a licensed parent educator.
And they talk about different topics, developmental topics, whatever's happening in their life right now with that child, or maybe their other children who aren't here, and they bring that to the table.
Bottom line, Riverview offers programs that provide children and adults with information and skills that will help them grow.
Their growth is huge. It's part of my favorite part of my job.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Still ahead, taking in the sights and sounds of Memorial Day from around the Northwest Metro.
But first, the Champlin Park softball team gets ready for the state tournament. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The Champlin Park softball team is 1 win away from winning the Section 5 4A title. The 4-seeded Rebels have cut their way through the playoffs, scoring 30 runs in 3 games while giving up just 5. And they're getting contributions up and down the lineup. Champlin Park has never made it this far in the softball playoffs, so it's an exciting time for the Rebels.
I feel like we have a lot of different skills and personalities, and I feel like together it's been working really well. We kind of get each other now, so we can play to our strength.
Since the section playoffs have started, I mean, a lot of girls have stepped up and done some majorly good things out on the field, whether it's defense or offense. And so for me as a coach, I mean, I take zero credit for any of the things that they're doing right now. I mean, it's all them.
Champlin Park's opponent for the section title will be Centennial, Maple Grove, or Rogers, depending on which team comes out of Tuesday's losers bracket. The Rebels will host the section final Thursday at 4 o'clock, with the second game needed if the Rebels lose that 4 o'clock game. The Champlin Park baseball team is looking to repeat as Section 5 4A champions. They got a tough test in the opening round of the tournament on a record-hot Memorial Day. Champlin Park hosting Irondale. Bottom of the 3rd inning, the Rebels with the runner on 3rd base. Irondale can't make the play here on the grounder, and Cal Hansen scores for a 1-0 Champlin Park lead. That proves to be the only run of the game, but it's enough for Max Loven. The Rebels senior gets the strikeout here to end the 4th. Top of the 7th, Champlin Park second baseman Jack Sneed digs out the ground ball and throws off the runner to start a 1-2-3 inning. Loven finishes strong. He tosses a no-hitter and strikes out 10 for a 1-0 Rebels win. They'll face Mounds View Wednesday. Totino-Grace is seeded first in Section 5 4A. The Eagles facing number 8 seed Osseo in a winner's bracket quarterfinal Monday. Bottom of the 2nd inning, the Eagles get on the board first. Daniel Clausen singles to right center field. Ben Ionazo scores, and it's 1-0 Totino-Grace. They'd add another to lead 2-0 after 2. Osseo answers in the top of the 3rd. Jake Contreras with a single to right. Tim Lavin comes in to score. The Orioles tack on one more run later to tie the game at 2. The Eagles threaten in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 runners on base, but the Orioles defensively turn a nice 6-4-3 double play, and it keeps it a 2-2 game. Totino pitcher Jack Kraler does his part. He gets a strikeout to end the Osseo 4th inning, and it's still 2-2. And it stays that way until the bottom of the 5th when the Eagles' bats come alive. Kraler singles to left field to score Carlson. Totino up 3-2. Later in that same inning, Jack Koken drives one deep to center. And this one travels over the center fielder's head and drops in for a double. Joey Linders and Nick Sticka both score. Grace gets 4 in the inning, and they lead at 6-2. Totino adds to its lead in the 6th. Linders singles to score Stephen Hand. Totino-Grace wins 9-2. Park Center lost to Centennial in another first-round game Monday. Totino plays Centennial Wednesday. Osseo meets Park Center in an elimination game. Highlights from section baseball, softball, and more coming up Wednesday starting at 4 here on CCX News. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Still ahead, a special Memorial Day tribute to our fallen heroes.
We'll be right back. And finally, remembering those who fought and died for our country.
Here's how Memorial Day looked and sounded in 2 local ceremonies at Mound Cemetery in Brooklyn Center and at the Chesterbird American Legion in Golden Valley.
Talking about fellow soldiers and sailors who've died in the line of duty, it's something we don't celebrate. It's something that we remember, we honor. We pause to thank them for offering the ultimate sacrifice and to remember the families who continue to mourn.
This Memorial Day, with heavy hearts, we recall those lost. They had names, they had families. They were our brothers and sisters, moms and dads and children. It is their ultimate sacrifice that has paid for the freedoms we enjoy today.
Charles Berg, World War II Army. Edwin Klimek, World War II Army. Elmer Paycheck, Korea. Joe Ragazzo, World War II Navy.
They died for the American flag and the nation that the flag represents. They died in pursuit and defense of their principles, liberty and justice for all.
Memorial Day 2018. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us.
We will see you here again on Wednesday starting at 4 o'clock.